And we have come back to the farm the day after a very, very busy Martin Luther King holiday. Once again showing that people aren't sleeping on Knott's Berry Farm. This is definitely a place to be on off days. The park gets crowded and the numbers are looking all right. But today we're obviously going to go check out where the park is as far as like moving along on the projects that they've been working on that they're going to be finishing up this year, that being the hotel, Camp Snoopy, and then just a couple ride refurbishments and stuff like that. But we are now officially in the off season, as the parking lot wasn't a nightmare to get into this morning like it was last week. And we're gonna see once again what Knott's looks like when there's plenty of room to walk around. Before we go into the park though, obviously we're gonna go check out the hotel and see where they stand on the third week of January. I do want to reiterate from last week that the park hours are still a little bit different in the middle of the week, Tuesday through Thursday. At the moment, I think up until Peanut Celebration, in which they still open at 11 and they still close at 6. So plan accordingly. People seem to kind of get that though. I think that's going to help Knott's front gate a little bit, but it will congest the park at opening a little, as it's somewhat easier for people to get to the park at 11 than it is to get here at 10. So it's kind of a mixture of two crowds right now. Got some benches that they're probably going to put out in the courtyard here. Maybe they're collecting dust right now, so who knows. So they got this all the new pavement up in this entryway, and then they've got the glass doors up. So there you go, some new automatic glass doors, some new pavement. This fence is down. I'm wondering if they're going to put shrubbery along the ends here, because they haven't finished painting the little posts yet. So maybe they're going to do something here first before they do that. So it looks like they started painting the walls, hanging up pictures around this whole little area. They got the floor in, they're putting the furniture in. So this is coming along. They got that bar in down there. God, this looks good. This is what the courtyard looks like. That looks so cool. I love that so much. Got the planters up. They're just finishing the little stage there on the end. Have to be quiet because they're working. I don't want to distract them. Those planters look awesome too. It looks like they're gonna have some shrubbery along the sides there. Fantastic. So if you're staying at the hotel, they've kind of rerouted. They're fixing the whole entrance here now. They put the little guard gate here at the end, and they rerouted the exit to this other gate. So remember, I guess that would be facing the hotel. There's a little gate to the left, and that's where you want to go to get in and out of the hotel parking for now while they work on the main entrance there. Looks like they're repaving it and stuff. Right here is the entrance, and just past this, going, I guess it's east on Crescent, is where the main entrance is going to be, where the sign is going to be put and stuff. So just be aware, if you're coming this way, you got to turn a little quicker. And if you're coming the other way, you got to turn a little later. And you can see they're starting to dig the road out. They're going to start kind of repaving the entryway here to have it kind of go around the entryway underneath that awning. You can see from the inside, when you're on the inside looking out, that little room that they got into the entrance. Looks like a little coat check room or something. And then they got the main entrance on the left there looking this way. I don't know if they're gonna keep the guard shack the same. I don't see any reason for them to change that, but I mean, if you wanna get fancy, right? Why not at least paint it so it matches the hotel? I don't know. But this is where they are now. The fences are down in front of that actual section, of that actual structure now. So they're moving. They probably, I get, what do we guesstimate? February or March, something like that. It's getting there. As for the restaurant, they're moving along there too. They got that building painted, which means, well, they don't have the, oh no, they do. They've got the windows all put in. I don't know where the actual doors are gonna be to go onto the patio seating. I'm sure you guys know better than I do. But they got that whole side of the building painted, so they're moving forward with that. And yeah, it looks like they do have the windows up. Which ones are doors, I don't know. So the outside is looking good. This is about what it's going to look like, what it's going to be looking like, obviously without all the scaffolding and stuff, and tractors and outhouses. And then they're going to finish that, the signage in the front there is what I'm assuming that's going to be. Finish that signage, and that'll probably be one of the last things they do before they open very soon. Very exciting, guys. Well, guys, if the amount of effort and care that they're putting into this upgrade of the hotel doesn't excite you, I don't know what will. But that's what it looks like this week. Every week there's something new. Now let's head through the turnstiles and see what's going on inside the park. These decorations they have in the windows at the bakery and the marketplace. The little wood stocks and the balloons. On top of all these treats. Okay, no more distractions. Onto the park. Signage returned back to its original glory. California's original theme park. And all right, here we are, all the people. All right, it's been a little while since we've seen it this empty over here. Ghost Rider is going today. However, accelerator down, meeting the fate of what is it? The mud buggies, the log ride, the Calico Railroad, the rapids. I'm sure we'll find out when we get over there. And basically 60% of Camp Snoopy, which we'll get into that later too. But here's Ghost Town. God, without all these kiosks and stuff everywhere, it's just so big here. There's just so much room. Okay, so the river rapids is open again. So we'll head over and see if they fix the dynamite. What I'd like to see is I'd like to hear some cool news about whether or not they're going to reopen and do something with the Mystery Lodge, because it's still sitting back there. It's obviously it's Grimoire Q space right now, but I would love for them to bring that back and not necessarily have to do the same show, but a show. I think that would be pretty sweet. Just to add to the attractions list of things to do here. They're limited on square footage, so really try to cram as much as you can into that. And you already have facilities to get stuff like that done, so why not? Speaking of things that are open, right as the park opened, Wilderness Broiler, open, not waiting around, not waiting till lunchtime or anything. So hopefully this becomes a normal thing, because I would love to have this be open all the time and have this be an actual option to eat from park open to close. They have really good hot dogs here, people. I don't think you guys understand that. Things are back to normal when there's no line for Pony Express. It's a walk-on. They got the one train sitting in the bay and just the one train moving, the one train working. So things are back to normal here. So the cannons are working back there kind of on their own. It looks like maybe they're timed or something, but they've completely taken the little dynamite boxes out. Oh no, never mind. They just removed them. So they're working on all of them. Maybe they'll have that fixed by springtime, and then they can sync them up to these blasts here. Get something going. I was hoping to see a blast. I will say it's just nice to, there they go. That'll get you. That'll cool you off. It's just nice to be able to see the water and hear the water flowing through this again. You don't realize how much you miss just the little things. Just the little things. Until they're gone. So they got the rail taken up all the way to there. I'm gonna go to the other side and see where it is on the other side. But they've gotten that much done in the week leading up. So I wonder if they're going to do the entire rail or if it's just that. Now they're planning on doing this for a couple months. So I'm assuming that they're doing the entire railing, but that's where they've gotten here on this side so far. And so it's off all the way across here at least. Maybe they're gonna do one rail at a time. Maybe they'll replace this whole right rail and then they'll go back and redo the left instead of just doing sections. It's probably easier to match that way, I would assume, right? Well, how are they riding on the rails? 405 is not so jammed as it has been in the last couple months. So that's good, but what that means is there's more park cars for you to hit when you're on there. So have a blast, kids. So since things have had a chance to calm down a little bit, I'm hoping that these guys have kind of chilled out just a bit and will work with me a little bit.
Take your fingers off them keys. You, at the door. I don't know what you're selling, but we ain't buying.
It's like deja vu.
Get your rat bags. Ollie, get back to playing that Miami.
That's like twice in 2 weeks. Maybe I am a rat bag. So here's a question since I'm over here. What do you think they lose first on this ride? The bottles? The whole shooting system in general, which is kind of the whole key point of having this here, or the 3D glasses? I'm curious because I feel like both of those do add to the ride, obviously. So taking them away would change things, but in the end, how much would it cost to just take both of those elements out and just make this a straight up dark ride? Keep some of the video screens maybe, but add some more animatronics and stuff. Just a thought. Oh, speaking of things you don't realize you miss until they're gone, the fountain's back and it is flowing beautifully, ladies and gentlemen. That is a very welcoming, warm sight to see. Nice. So the boardwalk's back to the loud music and everything, and it's kind of, it'll be interesting to see how this line fills up with accelerator down to see if this one picks up the slack. I know it's not, I mean, it's a great ride. It's not everybody's favorite, but it'll be interesting to see if they end up just migrating over this way since they can't ride accelerator. Look at this, they've got coasters shut down too. So this is new to me. I didn't know about this. What does it say up there? What's that sign say? Reopening in March, so maybe doing a little fresh coat of paint inside there. Wilderness Dogs made, so this is why they have the broiler open. The Wilderness Dogs is open because they have this shut down for the next month and a half. Dining plans are only available to Wilderness Dogs and not Johnny Rockets. So remember that. I mean, that's kind of a big thing now, just to remember that Johnny Rockets is like the only place, one of the only places in the park where the dining plan isn't available, which is a bit of a shame, but I gotta be honest with you. There's plenty of other places in this park to get a burger, and when you're here, you don't want to just get a generic theme park burger. Go to the Boardwalk Barbecue or go to Wilderness Dogs. Get something that you're not going to get at other parks. You know what I mean? Get something nice. Looks like they're going to give old Accelerator a break, maybe for the day or the week or whatever. This is probably as good a time as any to shut it down for a minute, get tighten all the screws and get everything kind of just recentered. This thing's been working its tail off since they reopened it, especially with just the one train. So what I'm hoping is that they're gonna fix it and then rework it, and maybe get the second train going before the summertime. That would really help keep the lines down, I think. I always love watching Snoopy interact with kids. With the log ride, it looks like they're painting or something over there. They've got tarp hanging over the rail. Oh, I bet you they're patching those holes inside the cave in the queue. It seems like something they would be doing right now. This is as good a time to do it as any. But they have they got the flume drained, so they're working. So talk about eating crow. They ended up just draining the whole thing. So I don't think they're obviously gonna do the amount of work that they were doing last year. I don't think the ride needs it, but yeah, it looks like they're doing something. So it's gonna be closed for a little while again. This is just an annual thing, so not really a surprise, but I didn't think they were going to drain all the water out, but they did. So this is good. This just means that they care and they don't want this thing taking a dump on them in the summertime. Remember, Fake Chipotle opens at noon, guys, so what are you line doing here? About 5 till. So they haven't gotten to the track to this far yet, it doesn't look like. So they're probably still on the other side of the boardwalk. And I didn't see it on the ride closures, but I haven't seen or heard it going yet. I think Jaguar's down too. That's a shame. But again, this is probably a good time to shut these rides down and get them reset. Like, I mean, I hate to say that for the people that are here just for the day or whatever and expect a full ride experience, but this theme park runs year round, so I can't really afford to. Oh, I was proven wrong. Man, today's the day of eating crow. We got a little trucks here starting to get covered up. They haven't removed them yet, though. I'm wondering if they're looking for a place to put them first, because I'm assuming that they're not going to keep them. So they would either be sold off somewhere else or maybe be thrown in storage until they can figure something out. But obviously, this is probably going to be the last thing on their agenda. This is going to be kind of a big undertaking, too, because they're going to be extending the track over to where Huff and Puff is. So they're going to be reworking probably this whole thing. Is going to be going somewhere else. Man, they have so much work to do over there. Let's go see what else is over there. Welcome to Camp Walls. Walls everywhere. We're going to be taking down the Ferris wheel sometime soon as well. They also extended these walls all the way out here to the bridge now. So they're working now back there. They got the truck back there going. They tore out, looks like they tore out the restrooms already. They're climbing up the tree. Oh, he's way up there. He's daredeviling it. So now I'm curious how far along they are at the theater, because now, man, they are super gung-ho on this whole project, aren't they? And it looks like they're cutting trees down. They're gonna eliminate all that whole tree line there to start bringing in the Tender Paw coaster. So this is really happening, guys. It's not just walls and dead space back there anymore. This is really happening. I was actually curious about when they were gonna start this, because this would probably be one of the bigger projects that they'd have to do in the park, besides the theater. And, well, gosh dang, I don't know. Because everything seems like, with the exception of Sally's Happy Swing, everything seems like it's just massive projects, even for a kids land. They're turning into Camp Snoopy 15.0 here. They're going full scale, because even even the meet and greets down here, they're reworking that whole area and putting a whole porch area, and that whole thing's going to be crazy too. So there's just so much to do, and I'm wondering how many of these projects they're going to be working on at the same time, and when they're done with the hotel, if they're going to allocate some of those resources over here to help out. So with all the ride closures now, and Mud Buggies is now down again, that leaves 5 rides in Camp Snoopy. That would be Linus Launchers, Kite Flyers, River Run, Flying Ace, and the Balloon Race. And that's all that you've got to offer in Camp Snoopy right now, just for the time being. And the train is gone as well, everything except for the engine. I wonder if they're gonna, you think they're gonna reuse the engine for the, well, no, they can't. If they're gonna replace the train cars, it means that they're gonna have to replace the rail size, so it wouldn't be the same rails, right? And we probably won't hear anything about this for 8 months. I didn't expect them to bulldoze the bathrooms either, so that begs the question, are they gonna be putting bathrooms back there again at all? Or are they just gonna keep the ones up here by the Grizzly Creek Lodge? So the meet and greet spot next to Flying Ace, they did start tearing that down too. So it looks like they're doing every project all at the same time, and they were just waiting for the holidays to be over like we kind of guessed. But that's basically all torn down back there with the exception of that tree that's peeking overhead. So are they going to keep that or maybe plant it and move it somewhere else? Lord knows we do need shade here. I don't know if you can tell, but there's not a lot of shade in the Midway area here. Look, they're actually actively dredging this here too now. So they're digging it deep. They got to dig out all the electronics, I guess, from airmail. Get all that stuff out, all the piping and whatever they've got underneath there before they start actually putting the theater and stuff up. They're still in the demo process back here. They got a lot of tractors, so we'll probably make quick work of it. So also with the closure of the Camp Snoopy store, they've moved all the Camp Snoopy stuff over here, which is right at the, obviously the entrance to Ghost Town. So now that they don't have the Camp Snoopy store in its spot, while they rework that whole side of the park, this is all Camp Snoopy stuff now in here. I love when a plan starts to come together. Almost more than I love when the plan actually comes together. To see everything moving forward almost exactly as we all thought that it was going to at the precise time is a good feeling. It's nice to go in there and see Knott's really kicking butt, taking names, and making an effort to really to change the park. And all the way from the hotel, all the way to Camp Snoopy. I think it's awesome. I think continue to do what you're doing, Knotts, because it's impressive. But now I get to go pick up the kids and take them to doctor's appointment. So, yay me. Until next week, we'll catch y'all on the flippity flop.